Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Hermits on Bedrock. This is Season 3, baby, and we are getting stuff done. So in the last episode, I kind of hinted at a project I was working on in the background, and it's really a dirt project. So through here, let's fly, give you an idea of what we're doing. We are actually, while we were gathering the dirt from over here, starting our canal project. And this is pretty much just for ships to get inside or in and out of the ocean, because technically there's no way connecting our river to the ocean, which might have been a glitch in the terrain or whatnot, but we're going to do a canal, kind of like the Panama Canal, right? So that these ships can pass in and out. And on this side, or maybe somewhere in the middle, or probably even better towards the entrance, we're going to have like a guardhouse, and it's going to connect a chain fence going from one side to the other. And what that does essentially, and this was actually used back in the medieval times, right, is you could tighten that chain fence up, and if a ship ran into it, it would just tear it up, right? So like it would be a kind of a really thick chain with blades and stuff on it, so that it would just tear up whatever ship would run into it. And you could lower that chain, and it would just droop down into the water and allow ships to float on through. So it's actually a very good concept that we're going to use here in our build. But where are we? If you go this way and kind of just keep it on, you run into our beautiful brand new ship we built last episode, and then you run to the port city, and finally up into the project we'll be focusing mostly on today, the gate, or more importantly, the walls itself. So this is what we did last episode. We built this gatehouse. And in this episode, we're going to have to finish up the walls, okay? I've already started working on the wall module in creative mode and pretty much got that down. Pretty much all it is really just this, but doubled in length. So we got like, instead of one, there'll be three in the middle, and then et cetera, et cetera. But we're taking it up through here. And the big question I had last episode, really, was, and why I haven't done it already, is how are we going to work these walls into the mountain to where it'll actually like come to a stop, right? And I'm thinking I'm going to curve the wall and just ram it straight to this piece right here, because this in real life would really, well, not really, yeah, this in real life would be kind of like a cliff face, right? And we might even put like a big retaining wall, smaller retaining walls, kind of holding this in where people can't escape or get into it or whatnot. So once we get the retaining wall done or whatnot over here, we gotta organize this side. And as I said last episode, and as you can see now as well, I have started covering this place in a lot of dirt and grass, right? So it's all pretty much grass now. But from over there, the canal project, we got all of this dirt. They're all full to the brim, right? So hopefully we'll have enough to finish up just coming this level all the way across. So the wall's going this way. You can see I kind of marked it in stone. It's gonna come up to here, probably come close to this spot right here, and then just go straight into the side of the mountain, right? And or over here. I see I've marked it over here, but we won't really need much of a retaining wall over here because, like we talked about in last episode, this is really very sheer, and you can't get an army up here or anything. So as long as you had like a good foot patrol, if this was real life, a good foot patrol along the walls itself, because the only thing I have to worry about is ladders and stuff like that. And we'll have to clear out these trees to make like a secure line of sight, I guess you could say, for our wall guards. All hypothetical, but you know what I'm saying, we're trying to keep it as realistic as possible here, even though this is Minecraft. But let me start placing some of this dirt and let me sleep, and I will see you guys in a second, hopefully with all this dirt placed in a wall module complete, and we'll talk through the process there. So guys, I kind of went a little crazy on this one. You might have caught a little snippet of it over there. But I did most of the wall, and the lanterns, lanterns load in now. And I've got pretty much the whole front face of the wall, first wall completely done. And I have to say, I really enjoyed it. I kind of got in the zone on the stream, and we kind of just finished the front. But these wall modules are very same. They're pretty much the same as this one, except we got 2 more blocks wider than those. So we're kind of keeping to the theme, kind of keeping to the script, and it looks really good, at least to me. Definitely let me know what you guys think of it in the comments. But we textured this one, And we still got to texture everything. And these are, it's a little bit of a process to get these done. They're not as fast going up as I thought they would be. But now we kind of got a system. You see, I still got this is the last 4 we did, or 6 we did. And yeah, you still see I got my scaffolding up. But we're doing a tower here at the very end. And then we're just going to terrain this to where it's going to look like nobody can pass, because I've done a lot of different variations on Creative World where this wall has run up the side of the mountain, and none of them look good. Like, it's too steep of an incline to bring it up. It just, looking at it from what soon will be the main road into town, or into the castle, as you're approaching, it just wouldn't look good to have this wall, like, step up like that all the way up there. And so we're going to have to figure out a little something else, maybe do some terraining, maybe a slightly smaller wall over there. But around the back isn't done, okay? Just giving you a warning. Boom! Very bland. But it works out perfectly because these blocks, as you see it's textured, is the same blocks from the other side. Just like this, see? Those are the same. So we're saving a bit of stone there, not having to do that big center face, which is good because we've actually had to go back and get some stone. I'm currently constructing the third tower, and then we're pretty much going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Now I've also placed down some dirt. You can see some of it still changing to grass. The wall is going to come out and pretty much you see how I have it curved over there, and I have it curved over here. The reason being, I don't know if I explained this already, but I'll do a little quick explanation again, is that it just looks better than a flat surface. It gives it a little bit more depth, gives it a sense of, not being blocky, as funny as that sounds. But this one's going to go out, kind of like my Season 1 castle. It's going to go out just a little bit, and, we'll probably have another smaller side entrance right there, with a road going out there somewhere, and then it's going to run into that mountain, pretty similar to how this is. And then that's going to be the last wall. And then, of course, we got to do the interior of the walls as well, which use just as much, unfortunately, materials. But, guys, I mean, it's going super quick. It took a little bit longer to do it, but quicker than I thought, if that makes any sense. I don't know, it probably doesn't. But I got a lot of texturing to do, definitely, and then we still got to finish these towers up and do like a little tower interior. We'll probably have a door going up, and the towers are the way you get up to the top of the wall. And then, of course, hopefully in this episode, we will be going down to the village. Probably next. It's probably the next thing we're going to do while I'm working on this. I'll take little breaks, and we'll go down there and work on the beekeeper's house. And then, hopefully in this episode or the next episode, we'll do the foundation for the main castle itself. And I got me a little snow block there, just to cool down, whenever it gets too hot. But anyway, guys, let me go. I'm going to work on this, and next time I see you, we'll be working on the beekeeper's house. So this is our test world here for Season 3, and that's a little sneak peek of the first facade of the castle I want to build. A little sneak peek there. But I wanted to bring you guys in here just to kind of show you that how much time I spend here in Creative. And this is the last version of the lumberjack, which we built in the episode before last. And that's the first version of it. And you see, that's not very pretty at all. But I wanted to do it in L shape. And it kind of gave me the inspiration to come up with this one. And as you can see, like most of the time, I go through multiple iterations of things. And, most of the time, I wind up not using the first one. Just like this over here. The beekeeper's house, right? I knew I wanted to do something like this. A central area with 2 little legs off of it. But this... I just didn't look good. The ceiling was really the hardest part for me to try to work out this little... I tried to tear it up and make it bigger on the middle than it was on the sides. I just could not get into it. And then I built this one, which is the second and final version that we're actually going to be building on the realm. And you can see I also built a little exterior to it. This is actually a full exterior. And most of the time, I don't really do that. As you can see over there, I only built the front face. But with a little... This isn't really a complex build, but... with a little bit more stuffings to it, we needed a bit more, source material to go off of. But yeah, guys, I just kind of wanted to bring you guys in and just kind of show you a little bit about this, and I'm still going with the same design that we chose with the oak logs and the stripped oak, and then the spruce ceiling with the oak in the middle. And of course, as usual, we will put like the stripped and the spruce logs in here, just kind of give it a little bit of variation like that, and then that'll kind of make it look a little worn. Probably put one right here and then one right here, and that just kind of gives it a little bit of bumpiness, a little bit of texture to it. We might even switch this one out with a with one of these logs, which will actually use the stripped version of that. Or not the stripped, these ones. Yeah, the stripped. Boom, boom. Yeah. So you guys can. That's just a little snippet of how I do things around here, and I've been asked a lot by other people in the realm really to show a little bit more of the building, and my process is really just getting in creative and working these things out. You know what I'm saying? Getting in creative and just working these things out and getting all the blocks you want to use, and with the palette, I don't really need a palette now that I've built 7 or 8 of these buildings. But guys, just if you're having trouble getting builds done, and you want me to do more building style stuff, please leave a comment, and I will actually do some videos, maybe a little series of my process, at least, of building. I'm not the best builder in the world, but I get it done. So, of course, the chimney, I like that. It kind of looks like a face from the side. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna build this in the realm, and then I'll bring you guys back once I get all the resources collected. We'll probably go over the spot and then how I determine the placement of it, and then I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, so for reference, lumberjack, farmer, the storage area. This is the spot where we're gonna do the beekeeper, and as you can see, I've already started to terraform over here. Do a little bit of that. We're gonna put a retaining wall right here to hold back this because I had to dig it out to make some space for the actual build. The next thing we're gonna do is we're actually going to start laying it out and making sure we got enough space to do what we want. And this is very important because if you run out of space, obviously you're not going to have enough space for the build. I don't know, it's just that simple. But let me get this done real quick, and then I'll bring you guys back and we'll talk about it. Okay, so this is the first layout, and this is why we do this, because I think it's way too close to where this retaining wall is going to be, and we don't have enough room here still to put our beehives the way we want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this about like 4 blocks, 5 blocks over, and maybe 2 blocks back. We're probably going to still have to add a little bit more sauce to the back of this, a little bit more blocks, maybe 2 or 3 even more back that way. But like I said, this is why we do this, and let's see what the finished product looks like. Okay, so let's get a flying view of the beekeeper's house. Oh, too high, and swivel. And look at that. Oh, it looks fantastic. There we go. Those trapdoors finally loaded in. But guys, this thing looks absolutely amazing. Fits right in, right there in that little corner. Fills up that space perfectly. I'm actually going to take this retaining wall and wrap it around that corner, just so that you can see it a little better from the road. I'm going to, of course, do our little L shape. Got to put one in between here so it looks like it's connected. Anyway, we planted some trees. I got a bee hive right there and a beehive over here on this tree as well, up there. And back here we have ourselves 8 other bee hives as well. And they're in there. You can actually hear them. You can hear them moving around in there. But we got the chimney in the back. Retaining wall, like I said, we're going to wrap it around the corner. But guys, this turned out really good. And it really completes the side. I mean, if we just come down here and kind of just turn and walk up this hill, I mean, it really looks like a village. I mean, you got building, and then I'm going to put one more building over here, I think, and then I'm going to call it for this side. And we might do a couple tiny little things like a well and a couple of other smaller builds like that. But I want to put a build right here. I don't know what it's going to be yet. It might just be a little house, kind of like the butcher's house right there. But we'll see. There's definitely space for another building right in here. And then turning around again, we've got a space for building right here, and probably a couple of more buildings or shops as we zigzag up this mountain or hill to get up to the main gate. But guys, that's going to do it for the beekeeper's house. The interior isn't done yet, but I'll go around and do all the interiors. Probably in one episode we'll have like a little interior episode. But I have a lot of work to do over here. More dirt to place, of course. We still got, I think, 4 shulkers left of dirt. I'm just going to go ahead and take it all the way over, probably to the other side of this tree, and then all the way down. And then the wall's going to come out and probably tear it out maybe 4 or 5 different times. So the end result's probably going to be the wall being like right where I'm standing, pretty much. And then we'll put a little, in the middle section, we'll put another gatehouse. We might have it bow out and then have a little gatehouse and bow back in, just like this one does. But that's going to be something I'm going to have to figure out, or we're going to have to figure out once we get to that point, because it's hard to imagine that in your brains without it actually being there. So let me go and build some more walls and finish up these 2 towers on either side. And then hopefully next time you see me, I'll have most of this or all of this wall done over here. So I went a little crazy again. If you notice, I've finished these 2 towers, and I've also, if we take a look up here on my viewing tree, if I can get it, ta-da! Everything is finished. The walls are actually all the way finished. There might be 1 or 2 blocks I may have missed. This was a lot of work. It was 2 days after, in real time, after the last scene. But, yeah, so I got the tower done. We might be missing 1 or 2 blocks. I still got a whole bunch of texturing to do along the walls. I even got the insides done all the way across, right? Actually, I just noticed we got to do these little ramparts, whatever they're called, all the way down on both sides. So that's actually going to be a lot of deep slate, which I still got, like, how many shulkers? 1, 2, 3. I still got 3 shulkers of deep slate, so that's good. But we went through a lot of stone. Like, I went through 6 or 7 shulkers of stone. It's kind of crazy how much stone we used. But the walls are finished, guys. I can't believe it. I was very, very happy. I got into just a groove, watching some YouTube videos, listening to some music, and I just, was just placing the blocks down and things like that. I think we still have to terrain a little bit. Yeah, over here. We got to finish this terrain job, but I leave it open so that people can see from the portal a little opening, because it gets confusing. People have already come through and been like, "Come, man, I can't find the way out. I need you to come get me." But to talk a little bit about how this castle is going to work, I think we might have talked about it a little bit last episode. And this is kind of a bad outline. I just did this real quick last night while I was brainstorming. But we're going to have raised terrain, right, to about probably this level. So, I think that was 115. I'm pretty sure that was 115. But we'll have it up to 115. So that'll probably be, somewhere around this height, right? And this is actually where the castle's going to start to be constructed. We're going to have a big retaining wall going like this, probably more a curve, and then come in right beside the village trading hall. And the castle's actually going to sit up on that platform. And we're going to have half the castle, which is going to be around this level, half the castle, the big arches and the gleaming towers and all the amazing architectural genius that we will build, of course, hanging outside the mountain. And then half of it, in the storage and a whole bunch of other things, is going to be actually inside the mountain. So it's going to be an architectural challenge for us to accomplish. Yeah. It'll be fun, I think, though. It's going to be definitely a challenge, and I'm going to be working for the next couple of days before I start recording again, just building this up. And because before we know how big the platform is going to be, honestly, we're going to have to know exactly how big the castle is, because I want to make sure we have enough room for the fountains and the gardens and stuff like that, which most of the gardens and stuff will be over here. And we're actually going to have probably a miniature village out here, and I don't want to get too far into the explanation in this episode of future projects that may never happen. But guys, I'm going to end it here because we're a bit over time. We're probably hitting close to the 20-minute mark here, which is where I usually like to end it. But thank you so much for watching. And please, if you like the video, leave a like. If you really like the video and want to see more, there's a lot more than this. I think this is our 10th or 11th episode of this season. So go back and watch the other ones if you wanted to see the progress of the village down there and how we did all this, how we started, and etc., etc. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But please leave a comment and let me know what you think about anything. Like, just let me know. Give me a compliment. Give me a non-compliment, an insult about how bad this looks, how good it looks, what I may have missed, what I need to change, suggestions for the platform, suggestions for the castle, suggestions for what kind of buildings I can put down here. Because I'm running out of ideas. I might have like a little potions or apothecary and then a lighthouse over there. But other than that, I need ideas, guys. So please, like, comment, subscribe. All right, well, guys, I really appreciate you watching, ladies and gentlemen. Watching, not washing. Watching, ladies and gentlemen. Please stay tuned because we are just getting started here in this build site. And I will see you in the next episode.